Igor Zotov was head of the Gergiev Foundation, a charitable organisation which funds some of the work of the Mariinsky Theatre in St. Petersburg. He was arrested in late 2011 and is accused of defrauding the Gergiev Foundation out of around £5 million. The Russian Investigative Committee says it's completed an investigation into the businessman's activities and that the case is expected to come to trial in the near future. Detectives allege that in 2009, Zotov and a fellow employee created a scheme to steal money from the foundation. The two men bought expensive flats in Moscow that they registered in their wives' names in order to cover up the money trail, detectives say. But Zotov says he is innocent and denies the charges. Cultural commentator Norman Lebrecht has been following the story since it first began.
Zotov denies the charges. Zotov says he never stole anything, that he is being kept in jail as a means of illegal pressure, that his wife was put under pressure to sell some properties that she owned in order to pay back the alleged theft. And that's where the matter has stayed until today, when we appear to have an actual charge sheet, something from the state that says this man is now accused with another accomplice in the foundation of stealing the 245 million rubles, and that the theft of the rubles actually caused damage of almost twice that amount to the Gergiev enterprises because they had to borrow money to cover the various activities they were.
So is the Zotov case a sign that the world of high art in Russia is becoming increasingly criminalized? Norman Lebrecht.
It must be said to the credit of Valery Gergiev that he has sustained, enhanced and expanded the only cultural institution in Russia to have flourished since the collapse of the Soviet Union. What he's done at the Kirov Mariinsky Theatre has been little short of a miracle, and how he's done it is almost by a process of magic and mirrors. To have succeeded on that international scale in Russia of today is quite extraordinary, and to see the scale of that success, you only have to compare what goes on at the Kirov to what's going on at the Bolshoi. The Kirov is an extremely well-run theatre. Everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing, how much they're supposed to be paid, where they're supposed to be, and at which particular time, which is certainly not the case at the Bolshoi. Is it reflective of Russia today? No, I think it's reflective of somebody who is trying to cram too many things into a short life. Gergiev is going to be 60 in a couple of months. He knows that time is ticking. He particularly knows that his father died in his 50s. It's something of which he's acutely aware day by day. So he tries to cram as much into his life as he possibly can, and perhaps sometimes he takes his eye off the ball and others take criminal advantage of him.
Norman Lebrecht there. The Zotov investigation comes on the heels of news that Bolshoi ballerina Svetlana Lunkina decided to leave Russia following a business dispute that turned nasty. Her husband received threats after being sued by a former business partner over a project to make a film about a Tsarist-era ballerina. Lunkina and her husband were already in Canada, where they own a home and have set up a dance school. They decided to stay there after receiving the threats. Lunkina has been going to class in Toronto for a few months, where until now it was not public knowledge that she was a Bolshoi dancer. Canadian newspapers have reported how the other dancers in the class had all been staring at Lunkina, taken aback by the quality of her dancing. Meanwhile, the Bolshoi's artistic director Sergei Filin has arrived in Germany to undergo further operations on his eyes. The press secretary of the Russian Health Ministry said on Tuesday that Filin is likely to undergo treatment in several different clinics in Germany. It's unclear how long the treatment will take. In a further development, Bolshoi director Anatoly Iksanov has linked the flamboyant Bolshoi dancer Nikolai Siskaridze to problems at the theatre. He did not accuse Siskaridze of the attack on Filin, but said that what had happened was linked to the chaos created by him at the theatre. He also said that Siskaridze was involved in the smear campaign against Filin's predecessor, Gennady Yanin. In March 2011, hundreds of pornographic pictures of Yanin were posted on the internet, prompting Yanin to step down. Nikolai Siskaridze is an outspoken principal dancer who leads the traditionalist wing of the theatre. His vision of the theatre differs radically from that of Filin, who wants to open up the Bolshoi to Western influences. Siskaridze strongly denies any connection to the assault on Sergei Filin.